Candidates for competitive exams often prepare by attempting to memorize thousands of pages of history, policy, and philosophy. Yet, despite this accumulation of knowledge, the failure rate for the English essay paper frequently exceeds 90% among highly educated applicants. This high attrition rate is linked to a specific error in execution. Under pressure, many writers produce exhaustive, descriptive information dumps, assuming that reciting facts is sufficient to prove competence. Evaluators are not looking for a human encyclopedia. They demand controlled, thesis-driven arguments where every paragraph performs a specific analytical function. Effective writing requires the precision of structural engineering. Raw facts are merely the building materials. They must be locked into a rigid, repeatable geometry. Success in these arenas is determined by the ability to architect raw data into a persuasive structure, using that geometry to prove the validity of a central claim. The outline functions as the structural skeleton of the argument, demonstrating an analytical sequence before the examiner reads a single paragraph. The center of gravity for this entire structure is the thesis statement. This statement is the load-bearing pillar. Every subsequent claim connects back to this anchor. For an AI topic, map balanced sections for positive data, risks, and regulations. Don't overload the structure. Limit it to 8 to 12 sequenced headings. The language of these headings must be exact. A vague placeholder like "discuss the effects" is less effective than a specific heading like "economic repercussions." The final block of this structure should provide a synthesis or a way forward. Identifying a problem is only the first step. Engineering a viable policy-level solution demonstrates the specific problem-solving capability evaluators are testing for. A rigorous macro outline establishes intellectual authority from the first page of the script. After the macro blueprint is set, the focus shifts to the internal building block of the essay, the body paragraph. A high-scoring paragraph uses a 5-step micro-architecture. It opens with the claim or topic sentence, followed immediately by the explanation, providing its rationale. Step 3 is evidence, injecting raw knowledge, historical facts, or philosophical concepts into the argument. For instance, a writer can deploy Allama Iqbal's philosophical concept of khudi, or selfhood, to substantiate a claim regarding spiritual resilience and individual agency. Similarly, Einstein's redefinition of time and reality can ground an argument concerning the limits of classical scientific thought. Step 4 is analysis. Dropping a statistic is ineffective unless you explain exactly how it proves the opening claim. The final step is the transition, using advanced connectors to bridge this paragraph to the next logical point. Isolated paragraphs are ineffective. The 5-step model creates an unbreakable logical chain that moves the reader through the entire argument. Even a flawlessly engineered outline loses its credibility if the vocabulary and tone violate the examiner's objective criteria. Evaluators are trained to identify specific psychological markers, such as emotional bias, ideological rigidity, or a victim mentality, which often lead to significantly lower marks. The essay serves as an audition for a bureaucratic policy role. Success requires the measured, balanced tone of a statesman rather than the emotional language of an activist. Comparing these two approaches reveals a stark difference in maturity. Stating that dams are terrible and destroy the country is an emotional claim. Conversely, stating it is increasingly doubtful whether the construction of new dams provides a sustainable solution projects analytical objectivity. Intellectual maturity is demonstrated by presenting complex or controversial data with emotional detachment and logical clarity. Achieving this tone requires a systematic transition from standard English to advanced academic syntax. Linguistic capability is assessed across 3 tiers: basic and redundant, clear and standard, or nuanced and advanced. Reaching the advanced tier involves swapping vague adjectives for precise academic vocabulary, for instance, using detrimental instead of bad, and utilizing sophisticated transitional connectors. Mastering complex sentence structures also prevents the writing from sounding monotonous, allowing for a more sophisticated rhythm of thought. Success in elite competitive writing occurs at the intersection of a rigid structural blueprint and a sophisticated objective syntax, the ultimate evidence of a mind capable of disciplined, high-level analysis.